I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Roll call, please.
Gusty,
Here.
Unitas,
Here.
Feinhardt,
Here.
Jenkins,
Here.
Gilmore,
Here.
Hauser, there, Gross,
Here.
Haskell,
Here.
Alfrey.
Here. Thank you. We have a motion for approval of the minutes.
Yeah, I'll make the motion. We approve the minutes.
Second.
Do we not approve the agenda?
We approve the agenda next, first. I'll make the motion. We approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Thanks, Dale. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we're to the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 20th, 2025.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Yes.
Hi, I'm yes, I'm here. My name is Linda Barkel. I don't need to be on there. And I'm on the agenda for a as a gosh, I had a whole speech done. Consideration for the appointment to the Republican Board of Canvassers. So I just let you know I'm all here in case you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just a general, I'm Randy Gray, just a general question. I noticed in, under the airport lighting project, there's gonna be a motion to approve the contract between J-Rank Electric and Clare County in the amount of $207,375. And I was just wondering if you're able to even answer it, what the difference, in this amount is and the original estimate that was, sent for the grant approval, the difference in price.
I can answer that, Chairman. So the original was an estimate. So when we put in the grant request to MDOT Aeronautics, we asked for an estimate. We only had to get one bidder. J-Rank provided it to us. When we actually had to put in the subsequent paperwork, it had to have a bid. To get those bids, we had to do a request for proposal. We did the request for proposal that went out for approximately 2 weeks. And then we only received one bid. That was from J-Rank and came out significantly lower to $207,000 for convention center $75. That's the difference between what the estimate was for the original grant approval and then the actual bid grant approval.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, administrators report.
All right. The state budget still is not approved. Jenny and I have met and we've reviewed all state funded allocations currently in place, and I have notified department heads of potential impacts should a budget remain unsigned. We have prepared a contingency plan in the event of a government shutdown, but for reference, I do want you to know that Michigan experienced a shutdown in 2007 for 4 hours and then 2009 for 2 hours. I think our biggest concern was just when the year reports would be sent to the state, and then the state would be sending the money to the county so that we would have it before the cutoff of our fiscal year. So our fiscal year ends September 30th, but the cutoff to prove to the 2025 fiscal year would be November 30th. We were awarded the material management grant from Eagle on the amount of $80,000 for fiscal year 26. The funding does support the development of the material management plan. In addition to covering some of my administrative hours and other related costs, We expect to receive this level of funding for the next 3 years, which aligns with the plan's duration. We have received half of our airport grant funding, totaling $113,000. The crack seal project is now complete. And after today, I'm hopeful the contract with J Rank Electric will be executed. We anticipate spending out the initial $113,000 by next week. At that, which time I can request the second tranche of money. I've attended numerous meetings in preparation of the fiscal year end activities, continue working through necessary closing tasks. Please make a note that you have a regularly scheduled meeting on September 30th at 9 AM. It's a Tuesday. And this allows us to address any last minute year-end action items if needed. If we don't need it, I will in advance give you notice and cancel it, but it is on the books. It's a regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay. Presentations today, Garrett, you're first.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Happy, feels like fall out there. I'll start off with our 2024 annual report. I provided everybody a copy of this, and I'll just give a brief overview. Obviously, Extension tries to do a good job of making a profound impact in the community. You'll see highlighted in there, I think our numbers in a lot of levels speak for themselves on the impact. Obviously, we try to be good stewards of the dollars that you invest in us, and our presence in the community, I think, reiterates our commitment to the different programs and services that we offer. We have over 200 different programs. So we had to pare it down for today's presentation, but a couple things to highlight. Our 4-H program, obviously, having some consistency. Michelle was here with us today. She oversees that program, but we continue to try and work and engage students in a lot of different capacities. Things are trends change, right? And student interests change. So, this is pictured in page 3. Is a welding club that we have. So kids had the opportunity to engage in some of those different experiences. We also had an embryology where we partnered with a lot of the embryology program, where we partnered with a lot of different schools throughout Clare County, just showing what that whole process looks like, and a lot of student engagement in those spaces. And then exploration days. I wanted to highlight that. That's Michelle, who is housed here, obviously, in Clare. She is a major stakeholder in that program. That actually happens on campus. How many people, Michelle?
About 900.
About 900 youth every year go on campus and engage in a lot of different activities, learning, leadership development. And so that is a really, really cool program that we have. Obviously, we have support funding for our Master Gardener program. Danielle Schrock, she's housed in Gladwin, but she's working on different programs here in Clare County, one at the rest stop, and trying to engage our different Master Gardeners. In full transparency, that program needed some re-energized, right? And so we worked with what we call Institute Leadership to get some funding from campus, along with this local community sport dollars, to revitalize that program. And so Danielle's going into year 2 now, so we're excited to see the more and more traction that we'll gain with that program as we continue to move forward with it. SNAP Ed, obviously we're pretty aware of where we're at with that situation. I think happy to field any questions around that. But the other program that I wanted to highlight is we have Tegan LaFear that is here in our office, the home ownership education classes, and Tegan is very busy connecting with helping people, first-time home buyers, single homes, or people that are in financial situations, helping them try to navigate the very complex housing system on ways they may be able to potentially save their home. And so Tegan does a great job for us over here. And so those were some of the programs that I wanted to highlight. Obviously, there's a lot more. I try to periodically, at least quarterly, provide different updates to the board so you're aware of the different things that we're doing. And so any questions on any of that? All of this information will be posted online too. Sounds like we're good with that. Now that you heard all the good stuff, the next is our MOA, our FY 26 MOA. This was included in the board packet. I met with Administrator Phelps in April, May or something like that, to talk about our budget. We did have a modest increase, but for the most part, it looks the exact same as it has in years past. And so, again, I'm happy to go through any of the details of that. If there are questions on it. Okay. So I think we would. Every county's a little bit different, so that we would probably, if we need the approval to.
We have it on here, under the fiscal resources.
Oh, okay, all right,
So I
perfect.
can just, he'll sign it after the meeting and then I'll just get it.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much for your continued support. We appreciate it. And if there are other spaces, like I've shared in the past, if there are other spaces that we can continue to try and fill a gap or provide a service or need, please do keep us posted. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Brian, you're next.
Great. Morning to everybody. Thank you for having us this morning. I'm Brian Cogman. I'm the Executive Director for Community Mental Health for Central Michigan. Here with me is Sarah Maselli Sorensen. Sarah, she is the Chief Clinical Officer.
Did you hear today?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Crossbow accident, so careful of that. Yes, everything to do without a hand bump or a vest. Community Mental Health for Central Michigan is a 6-county CMH authority. It's established by the Michigan Mental Health Code, as well as the enabling resolutions for each of those 6 counties. We have a 14-member board of directors. And I'd like to thank Commissioner Gilmore for his participation as a member of our board. And thank all of you for your support. This morning, we'd like to talk a little bit about this general annual report of activities. You have with you our annual report that does highlight the various activities in each of the counties, but then Sarah will speak to the local efforts. I will also make some comments on the latest news with respect to the PIHP procurement. So I was here in past and appreciated the resolution that Clark County adopted in opposition to that effort. So I'll give some updates about that. The other counties, in addition to Clare that we serve, includes Gladwin, Isabella, Mecosta, and Midland counties. And we, at Community Mental Health, provide a wide array of services, evidence-based services to adults with serious and persistent mental illness, children with serious emotional disturbance, individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We also serve those with co-occurring mental illness and substance use disorders. Our vision is communities where all individuals experience healthy and meaningful lives. CMH professionals provide individual and group outpatient treatment services, home-based services in support of the whole family, psychiatric care, and case management services, all to enable individuals to live in their communities. We provide 24-hour crisis supports in the community as well, along with a wide array of other services that again help people with activities of daily living and fully participate in their communities. And the annual report identifies that we served just a little bit over 10,600 individuals for an unduplicated count. At any point in time, we're serving approximately 5,000 individuals across the 6 counties. In Clare County, we served just over 1,500 individuals. Across our 6 counties, our funding supports nearly 2,500 jobs. This is both staff that we directly employ, which is about 450, but also a number of direct support professionals who are working with individuals on a day in, day out basis and through contracted providers all across our community. We are accredited by the Joint Commission, that's a national accrediting body for healthcare organizations. And we've held that accreditation dating back to 1996. The Joint Commission standards really are, I think, a testament in our continual accreditation to the highest quality and safety of individuals served. We will be having our 3-year on-site review in 2026. The budget for our agency, again, across the 6 counties, the current year that we're in right now, that will end same September 30th, is $157 million. Allocated to Clare County is $16.5 million. Most of that is funded by Medicaid. And about 93% of our funding is Medicaid. So, we're of course watching all of the federal dynamics and activities with respect to changing Medicaid policy. And we all likewise are watching the state budget to see where we can know what our planned funding is for the upcoming fiscal year will actually be. But Clare County contributes $139,000 to community mental health. It's a fixed amount. It's been the same part of that enabling resolution since 1997. As far as the PHP procurement, again, PHP stands for Prepaid Inpatient Health Plan. These are the bodies that receive the Medicaid funds, and then they distribute that to community mental health agencies all across the state. There are currently 10 of the PHPs. The intention of MDHHS is to reduce the number of regions from 10 regions in the state to 3 regions, the northern region, central region, and a metro region. We don't really know what, if this proceeds, what the resulting number of PHPs may be, because in the RFP, it states that there can be more than one PHP per region of these 3 regions. So it could be 3 PHPs, it could be 15 PHPs. We don't know what that number really looks like and what the state is intending with that. However, August 4th, the state did release their request for proposal. On August 28th, a motion for preliminary injunction was filed against the state of Michigan, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Michigan Department of Technology Management and Budget. The plaintiffs are 3 of the PHPs and 3 CMHs, kind of coinciding, a PHP with one of their CMH partners in 3 instances. We're part of Mid-State Health Network. They're a 21 county regional entity, PHP, made up of 12 CMHs. We're one of the 12. And so Mid-State Health Network is one of the plaintiffs, as well as Saginaw County Community Mental Health is part of one of those 12, and they're joined in this suit. The desired outcome is that the state would be enjoined from proceeding with and awarding any bids submitted under the procurement. Then a lot of advocacy that's continuing with respect to this. The RFP is viewed as the unlawful privatization of a government function. It's called for again by the Michigan Mental Health Code, and the lawsuit is getting at that aspect of things that seems to be a conflict with respect to the procurement effort and the Michigan Mental Health Code, particularly as it relates to the obligation of the state invested in the counties, and then through that, then the creation of the CMH authorities. Back today, later on, there will be a walk a mile event, it's called, at the state capitol. I'm hoping to be in attendance at that, but there'll be thousands of people. And historically, it's an annual event to really allow the voice of people served, vulnerable citizens in our communities, to fight stigma and to advocate for resources and the needs of those with disabilities. This event today will focus on this procurement effort and a lot of speakers, a press release will be held by the CMH Association of Michigan as part of this. I'm gonna turn it over to Sarah, but again, thank you for your commitment and your partnering within Clare County. Appreciate that.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Brian, for handling all the heavy stuff and then I'll do all the fun stuff about the service. We continue currently to serve about 700 adults and children who meet criteria for our services, and we strive every day to provide the highest quality and level of services. At a time when the whole world seems fairly stressed out, and I can tell you staff aren't getting any easier to find, I want to reassure you that the Clare CMH staff show up every day and work to make a difference for the people that walk through our doors. In addition to all the daily work that is done in our office, which is a lot, we continue to partner in every way that we can with community partners and in community programs. And so I just wanted to highlight a few of those. And then I'll talk about some success stories that help really illustrate the work that we do at CMH. I continue to be very proud of our partnership with our local jail in Clare and Gladwin for the jail liaison services. We are the first CMHCM County that is operating that position with a bachelor's level case manager, and we're finding that we can be very efficient in that way with a bachelor's level case manager. Tyler, who is your jail liaison, provides crisis services for when people are in the jail. Case management for people who are incarcerated before they get ready to get released, helping kind of figure out if they need services or things need to get set up. He runs Thinks about thinking and living differently when you're outside of jail, and when needed, he provides screenings for inpatient hospitalization. When he is able, he also links and coordinated for those that are involved in the forensics process while they're awaiting valuation. We don't control that process in any way, but at times we've been able to be effective in helping to advocate for people who are in that position of being in jail, but they're awaiting being an evaluation at the forensic center or placement after that. Actually, in the past year, we had a situation with a pretty ill individual, and we were really able to help get in there and identify the barriers that were preventing them from getting moved to the forensic center and really advocate, and we were able to get them out of the jail. You will often, if you attend community events that are community services driven, you will often see us at tabling at those events. We are there to increase psychoeducation and awareness about mental health and the resources that are provided at CMH. I can honestly tell you, it's rare at these events that we don't get asked questions about our services, get asked how to get into our services. Somebody talk to us about the services that they need, or talks to us about how services have benefited them in their lives. We continue to partner with the Clare Gladwin RESD to employ 4 school-based mental health professionals, along with a school-based mental health supervisor. We provide supervision for all of the school-based staff in Clare and Gladwin that are funded under the 31N funds to ensure that good clinical services are being delivered in the school system. We also continue to directly contract with Farwell Schools for an additional school-based mental health professional and a behavioral interventionist. Our school-based staff touch the lives of a lot of kiddos, and not only work to help those kids be successful in the school day, but to make sure they and their families are linked to any resources or services they need outside of the school system. Some specific successes is we had a student who no one ever would have guessed would have done this, came forward and shared with our staff, that a friend had made a threat towards the school. This was a kid who wasn't necessarily pro-school, but he had a relationship with our staff and felt like that was the right thing to do. Another student who was really alienated from school, not a lot of friends, not seen as a kid that really valued school. Through hard work of the treatment team and the school, has now built some healthy relationships and friendships. They're connected with teacher mentors and come to school every single day. These are huge wins as we talk about kids who aren't really thriving in the school environment or weren't going to school, and now they are regularly attending and participating in school. Recently, our wraparound staff have been instrumental in bringing back the Clare Human Services Collaborative Board meetings. We also participate in multidisciplinary meetings with the Child Advocacy Center. We have great working relationships with our DHHS. Actually, last year, the DHHS directors and I sat on a panel to talk about how we have figured out how to collaborate and work so well together. This was a statewide training. We participate as part of the Great Start Collaborative. We sit on the Clare Gladwin Prevention Coalition. I continue to serve as the organizer for the Clare Human Services Leader Collaborative. Leadership Collaborative, where human services leaders meet monthly to provide updates, look at gaps, figure out if there are ways that we can partner to address needs. We have continued to implement the Family Stabilization Program, which is in year 3 of a 3-year grant pilot. We have staff who do an amazing job with connecting with families who are in crisis or maybe before the crisis, to really help get them linked to what they need. Since the start of fiscal year 25, so 10/1 of 24, we've connected with around 90 different families between Clare and Gladwin to help engage in treatment or just help them stabilize. We collaborate with law enforcement, schools, DHHS, friend of the court, just name it. So there's no shortage of the work that needs to be done, and we are dedicated and up to the challenge. So now just a few successes. For our home-based team, which serves children and families who are in the most intensive need, we provided crucial intervention when the worker arrived at home to find the caregiver unconscious on the floor. Our staff was there instructing calls to 911, administrating CPR, and for them provided support to the entire family system, like while that crisis was going on and then afterwards. She supported that the routines try to stay as consistent as possible so the kids didn't get lost in the shuffle of things. There was a kiddo in the family who was they really wanted to participate in solo and ensemble and band, but after all of this felt like maybe they shouldn't. And with the support of our staff, decided to participate and went and was extremely successful. We've helped kids who are on reduced days at school return to school full-time and maintain their behavioral gains. In our infant mental health program, we had a youth who was pregnant, who really had zero interest in anything we had to offer her and didn't necessarily think she needed our services. But our infant mental health guru did not give up, and through engagement and really a lot of dedication, this young youth really connected with her to the point that she really recognized that she wanted to change her life and the life of her baby. She was able to finish school the year she was pregnant. After delivering the child, with our help, enrolled in online school so that she could continue to be home to care for her infant while working in high school. Worked in the evenings because that's when she had childcare. So we're talking about a youth raising a baby, going to high school, getting A's and B's, and working in the evenings, getting her driver's license, working on her intergenerational trauma, and really recognizing that pursuing education and getting herself right was the best way to have the best life for her baby. As long as that. In our health services, we had a consumer come in for an appointment. Our MA immediately thought their vitals was swampy. Person said they were feeling fine. She said, after you leave here, really, you need to go to the ER or go see your primary healthcare doctor. Like, I'm worried about you. They agreed that they would. Followed up and they had gone. When they came back, they essentially told our MA, you saved my life. I was on the verge of having a stroke. They caught it. They were able to place me on medications. In context of this conversation isn't coming up, but they hadn't picked up the medications because they couldn't afford the prescription. And so our MA was able to get a hold of the clinic, help them get figured out medication that would be more feasible and help prevent any further medical. And my very last one is that we had an adult woman very ill when she came in for services on court order, had several inpatient treatment admissions, really didn't believe that she had an illness or needed medications or treatment. She would stop taking her medications, really wasn't leaving her house, wasn't working or really engaging. She's now fully engaged in our services, has so much insight in her need for services that she's no longer on a court order, taking her medications. She was using therapy to process through trauma and is now working at least 30. So that's just a little snapshot of the work that CMHCM does every day to try to make it.
Questions?
I have one. The Human Services Collaborative Body,
Oh,
when did that start meeting again?
DHHS and our organization, Tammy Childs is the one that sends out the email, and I want to say it's been in the last 4 months to start it back up.
Okay, could you include me on that?
Yeah.
Because the county's always in the past been involved in the Human
Okay.
Service Collaborative Body. We hadn't been, because it stopped,
Yeah,
for quite some time, so
yes, for sure. I will send you the link
that,
and I will get you to connect.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Okay, good to know.
David, will you read the first motion, please?
Course. Motion to allow the replacement of the public guardian for the environment.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Why did, the public guardian?
She retired.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
Make a motion to allow the hiring of a part-time nurse in Clare County Jail.
I'll second it.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Majeski.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay. Marlene, senior services.
Make a motion to approve the grant from Region 7 Area Agency on Aging in the amount of $272,585 for fiscal year 26.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Is there any county match to this grant?
No, no.
So it's straight, just to.
Yeah, that's the grant. I mean, we utilize the millage to support the program, but the grant, just is combined.
Okay, roll call, please.
Majeski.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
Oakley.
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Bankin.
Yes.
And Brusadas.
Yes. Okay, motion carried. Rick.
Motion to approve the continued agreement of extension services with the Michigan Extension in the amount of $158,830.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No questions for Eric?
Bankin.
Yes.
Oakley.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
And Brusadas.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Majeski.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Jack, airport lady.
I move to approve the contract between J Rank Electric Incorporated and Clare County in the amount of $207,375.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Oakley.
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Brusadas.
Yes.
Majeski.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
Bankin.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve statutory finance committee meeting minutes of August 18th, 2025. In the amount of $127,000. $127,499.07 and the minutes of September 2nd, 2025 in the amount of $36,130.29.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Bankin.
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Majeski.
Yes.
Brusadas.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Oakley.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Motion carried. Jacob.
Make a motion to approve the expenditures for the month of August 2025 in the amount of $2,912,591.29, with the general fund expenditures totaling $979,993.39.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
And Brusadas.
Yes.
Trustee,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Oakley,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Motion carried. Dale.
Motion to approve and accept the annual foreclosing governmental unit report of real property foreclosure sales.
Second. Then moved and seconded. Any comments?
I just have a question. This is the report.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the number of parcels were foreclosed and the total? Okay, 1.6 by 25.
So this goes back to 2023, and that would be like a local unit transfer where a local unit took it in their first right of refusal
Got it.
prior to the sale.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, roll call, please.
Oakley,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Revise,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hauser.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Actually, Kate, real quick, that could be one that didn't sell as well. There could be a parcel that didn't sell at the sale. Sorry.
Okay, and at this time we have a message from our clerk.
Mont is away at a registered deeds conference and she asked me to read the statement. The three things that are most important to me as the county clerk and register of deeds in this order are: number one, security, number two, customer service, and number three, cost. I am currently at a registered deeds conference in which Wexford County gave a presentation on the ransom attack that they suffered in 2024. It was excruciating to listen to, and it took 6 months for them to be able to open back up to the public. Fiddler Technologies have protections in place so that in the event of something like this, my office could be back open for business in 6 to 10 hours. Customer service Fiddler Technologies offers is second to none. They are a top-notch company. In 2019, when I negotiated the contract with Fiddler Technologies, I added some protections in Clare County on any future extensions. The standard renewal rate is a 15% increase for the next 5-year extension of the contract. I negotiated that down to 10%, which is reflected in this price. I'm available to jump on Zoom for any other questions. Thank you.
Okay. David, you handle the first motion?
Of course. Motion to approve the Fiddler Technologies 5-year land records life cycle extension and allow the clerk register of deeds to sign.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Titus,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Oakley,
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. You have something else for us, Tanisha, before we do the next two?
Again, Mont asked me to read the statement as she is away at conference. The law allows us to ask the following questions to any candidate being appointed to the Board of Canvassers. And I ask every nominee, every time, the same questions. These are their answers. You be able to work 2 to 14 days immediately following an election. The Democrat nominees, Mr. Guerrero and Ms. Trotter, both answered that they would not be able to make that time commitment. I did not ask these two any further questions. Ms. Emmendorfer and the 2 Republican nominees, Ms. Barkle and Ms. Gear, all agreed that they could make that time commitment. Are you willing to serve a 4-year term? All 3 nominees, Ms. Emmendorfer, Ms. Barkle, and Ms. Gear answered yes. Is a per diem of up to $100 per day plus mileage acceptable? All 3 nominees answered yes. Do you have any experience with the election process? Ms. Emmendorfer answered she has been a voter and has a certificate in public policy. Ms. Gear has been on the Board of Canvassers for 1.5 years, was a poll watcher 3 times, and worked at the polling place once. Ms. Barkle worked at the polling place for every election for 10 consecutive years. In 9 out of those 10 years, she was the chairperson in charge at the polling place.
In an effort to do a better job and fully understand the business, she attended every Board of Canvas meeting for 8 out of the 10 of those meetings. She participated in every public accuracy test at Hamilton Township for 10 years and has full knowledge of the election equipment. Attended a few clerk meetings in which there were election trainings. She attended 5 to 8 different election inspector trainings to deepen her knowledge. She attended and participated in every post-election audit that was completed on Hamilton Township during the 10 years she was the elections. And finally, she has closed the polling place and completed all of the closing of the polls paperwork for the Board of Canvassers review for 8 out of the 10 years she worked at the polling place. I recommend Tara Emmendorfer as the Democrat Board of Canvasser, and Linda Barkel as the Republican Board of Canvasser because of her extensive knowledge and experience. Thank you.
Okay, Katie, would you do the first motion, please?
Make a motion to appoint. Want me to insert a name?
Yeah, Miss,
And now, did the clerk just gave a recommendation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I make a motion to appoint Carl Emmendorfer as the Democratic Board of Canvasser to term of November 1st. 2025 to October 31st, 2029.
are there any questions?
I'll second.
Thanks, Dave. Keep me on the ball. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Harmony, you do the next one, please.
Make the motion to appoint Gina Gear to the Republican Board of Canvassers for the term of November 1st, 2025 to October 31st, 2029.
Second. Then moved and seconded, any discussion?
We're not going by what the county clerk recommended.
I actually talked to the committee that interviewed both of those candidates for the Republican Party. And Dina was the candidate that was recommended by the Republican Party.
Did they give a reason why why they made that recommendation?
They did, I don't think it's appropriate to discuss it. That would be like a personnel issue.
Want to go into session discuss?
We can't go into closed session, discuss that.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
Second.
Yep, yeah, Rick seconded it. So, all those in favor of recommending Dina Gear to Republican Board of Canvassers, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion carried. Rick, would you do the next one, please?
Approve the budget adjustments 25 to 206 in the amount of $226,987.
Now second.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ambrositis,
Yes.
Holton,
Yes.
Duffy,
Yes.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Osmo,
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried. Do we have a clerk's report?
no report.
Okay, treasurer's report. Jenny.
Good morning. I just, in front of you all, you should have your statutory reports. I'm just working on fiscal year end with Lori. If I know Gabe was working on some, and Lori, I need all of the contracts for this year, any signed ones, all the signed ones, so I don't know if I got that airport signed. Grants, because I have to do some stuff with that, but, and I mean, I need all the others for the fiscal year, grants, contracts, leases, anything that we've entered in. And then just to let you know, we had the land sale, August 22nd, 5 properties are going to a re-offer sale on September 26th. It's a Friday, it's online only from 10 to 7. And it will still start out at the minimum bid. That would be, we'll have that updated on our website today, and there'll be some advertisements going out in the paper. And then, just to bring to your attention is that there's a House Bill 4799 out there. It's a postmark bill. And it concerns, property taxes due dates And when the local units don't receive the property taxes online. It went to committee yesterday, so it's not being voted on yet, but it might be something that you guys might want to talk to our representatives, about. But it already has in the law that a local unit, it mainly affects your town, your local units. That they can accept postmarks up to 7 days. So your township can or cannot accept them, but the way, the Chamber of Michigan Chamber of Commerce is pushing this. They want them that if somebody made an attempt to, and they get the letter, they get the check 6 months later, a year later, because that happens. They want them to be able to accept that. Accept that postmark. And undo everything that's been done. We think there's other ways. We've been trying to work ourselves, and MTA have been trying to work with the committee, with the chamber to try to come up with a difference, reasonable. The 7 days is reasonable because most people, if you send a check, you reconcile your checkbook and make sure that the check is cashed. To make sure the taxes are paid. But anyways, it could cause a problem if they have to undo stuff when the mail gets there. And I don't want to blame anything on the post office. Everyone knows that there's issues with it, but it's not, individuals' problems. It's, we just, there's a lot of issues with mailing checks in lately. They wanted to switch it to, because a lot of it are the bigger companies, they can wire funds. There's other processes, but anyways, it's just something to look out for, because that could cause a lot of issues with your townships. And the processes and what is going to be involved administration wise for them. Anyways, thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Peer report, I've just been attending my meetings. Both townships are doing great. So I guess I really don't have a report.
I visited CTE, the new CTE building programs yesterday. We recommend ways go about that. It's a great program that this RSCD is doing. Okay, so that's it. Okay. David.
Just a couple of things this month. Community action, continuing to look at the federal budget being pushed through. And they're concerned about the Senate did go against what the president recommended. When it comes to some of the cuts that have impacted their grants specifically, but things are still up in the air, so they're still a little worried, cautious. Let's see what happens. Also going to be looking to the future of doing more multi-family unit work for modernization. I did a project last year, it turned out very well, to the point where the state's suggesting that other community actions look to us as the guide on how to do those. Might be doing some work down in Livingston County with their community action, show them how to do those projects. Franklin Township had an interesting, bit of an interesting story when it comes to how government works with each other. They received a check, state, this last month for personal property tax, the revenue share, and they were slightly confused. State sent from 23 cents check. Probably for check itself is probably worth more than the amount they're sending, which is just interesting, but that's how government works sometimes. They're continuing to work on their ordinances. They finally did approve the spiller pay ordinance that has been talked about for a couple of years. So that is going to protect their township from any hazardous waste that is dumped. Still keeping an eye on ESNA and its cloud switch over. Summerfield Township appointed several people. They appointed Martha Bells to their planning board, and then they appointed a zoning board of appeals. Scott Lousy, Jason Jackson, Jordan Hall, Jacqueline Hall, and Paul McCracken. Hamilton Township is going to be having a public hearing on October first to listen to the wording of their master plan when it comes to the parks. They are working on a new park in Hamilton Township. And get some wording corrected in the master plan. BSNA Cloud is another situation that they're continuing to look into. On Winterfield Township, there was concerns about tiny homes. This is needed. They're also needing to update their computers, and switch over coming this next month. And they're also concerned about BSNA Cloud. That's all I have.
Yes, thanks, David. Gabe.
I have nothing to report.
Darlene?
I only have one comment, and it's concerning Reading Township. Last month, they had 3 board members put in their resignation. So all they have are 2 board members, and their meeting is tonight, so as of right now, I'm not even sure what their board members are consisting of, or if they have a board. And that's all I have.
Question, what happens if they don't? They don't have a board, there's really no meeting, they have to have a quorum.
3 is a board.
Right.
How would they approve of an additional board member being added if they don't have a quorum?
I think the county clerk has to do it.
They have to go to the election commission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay?
Nothing to report.
Me either.
Dale?
Holy cow.
Oh, wow. You're on the clock.
Nothing? No, just attending my meetings and that. I wanted to give a shout out to Dwayne and his group over at the Road Commission. I know I've been nonstop calling for the last couple weeks on issues that we've come up with and citizens have gotten with me on as far as trees and stuff like that. And they've been really responsive on showing up to correct those issues and that. So it's really appreciated, especially in Lincoln Township. So thanks, Dwayne. But that's all I got.
Any more public comment? None. Then we need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make the motion. We go into closed session to discuss the negotiations of collective bargaining agreement.
Been moved and seconded, roll call please.
Busitis,
Yes.
Oakley,
Yes.
Who?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Meinhardt,
Yes.
Hauser,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yeah.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Okay, we are now in closed session. So if I could ask the audience to exit.
Motion that we have a special meeting on Wednesday, the 24th at 9 AM.
Second. Been moved and seconded, is there any discussion?
And could you state what it's for, please, to ratify the units 1 or units 3, 4, and 5 contract?
Rather, I'd like to make a motion to set a special meeting for Wednesday, the 24th of September to ratify the
Units 3, 4, and 5 contract.
units 3, 4, and 5 contract.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Of the special meeting on the 24th at 9 AM. Okay. Where we're at, any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion. We adjourn.
Second. Been moved and seconded, we adjourn, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.